He's
Dem
looking at me
bones,
like,
dem
what?
bones. That
Thank
one?
you. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Dem bones, dem bones.
Them bones, them
Between
bones.
this and the Bone Temple, we're really getting boned.
Getting boned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Haven't stopped getting boned.
Yeah.
Well, so that sounds like a problem, but it's not.
Hello. Do you want to play a game?
What's your favorite scary movie?
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
See dead people.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Here's Johnny.
The power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ compels you!
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Welcome to Talking Horror with Jamie and Nikisha.
Hi, I'm Jamie.
And I'm Nikisha, and this is Talking Horror with Jamie,
And Nikisha.
where we share our love for all things scary and talk horror through the lens of human behavior. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
Amazing. Actually, I would like a song request from producer Brian,
Ooh.
because we are talking about a specific movie that has a specific word in it, and I just need Brian to go ahead and kick us off with the song. He's looking at me like,
dem
what?
bones. That
Thank
one?
you. Yes.
Yeah. Dem bones, dem bones. Between this and the Bone Temple, we're really getting boned.
Getting boned.
Yes.
Haven't stopped getting boned.
Yeah.
Well, so that sounds like a problem, but it's not. So today we are talking about the 2015 Western film Bone Tomahawk.
Have a talk with Mr. O'Dwyer. Yes. It's the official opinion of the backup deputy. That a talk with him. It's a good idea. Say goodbye to my wife. I'll say hello to yours. Yes, sir.
Woo! Or ooh.
I know. Ooh is more like it, and I'm excited to discuss this with y'all. This movie was written and directed by S. Craig Zoller in his directorial debut, and it stars Kurt Russell, Patrick Wilson, Matthew Fox, Richard Jenkins, Lily Simmons, Evan Jonigkeit, David Arquette, Zan McLaren, and Sid Haig.
Man, this movie is stacked with a cast.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, what a cast.
Yeah.
What a cast. And it was so fun because I didn't look this up at all. I just pressed play to just be like, oh my God, David Arquette. Oh my God,
yeah,
Patrick
sure.
Wilson.
Yeah,
So it was very fun. So spoilers, if you have not seen Bone Tomahawk, it's currently streaming on Hulu. So go watch it and then come and listen to us chat a little bit about it. And Jamie's going to hit us with those trigger warnings.
Oh my God. There's a lot. I'll start with cannibalism. And racism. And lots of insides on the outside, lots of like gruesome, a lot of things are like inferred, which I thought was really interesting. But like, so there's a lot of like sounds of really gruesome things happening, but there are a lot of gruesome visuals. We'll talk about it. But yeah, bloody, ripping, eating, shredding, shooting. There are guns, there are arrows, insides on the outside for sure, cutting, putting things in bodies, taking things out of bodies, opium, like I was gonna say beheading, which sure, but more so like amputations,
misogyny.
Yeah.
Loads of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much all of it.
I mean, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
Very gory, and there's a lot of things happening. So it just with caution, and it's a little over 2 hour long movie of all of these things. So Just fair warning. Great. Well, before we get into all the things, producer Brian is going to give us a couple of words.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Hi, YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Brian. I am the producer. And I think you should also follow us on social media at Talk Horror Pod. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. That's really where we're doing our main thing. And then you can find us on YouTube as well. So check us out in all those places. We cover movies that we don't cover here. We also do like lists and countdowns and things that are now streaming. For instance, like Mithrigan 2.0 is now on Netflix, which I talked a little bit about. So you can find that on Netflix for sure. And like Greenland 2 Migration is now available for rental. I'm planning on watching that maybe tomorrow or something. I don't know. I'm excited. I didn't get to the movie theaters, but I'm excited.
Cool.
Yeah, and so check us out in all of those places. We would really, really appreciate it. That's all I have to say about that.
Gorge. Well, have you guys watched
Gore.
anything?
Just.
Oh, yes, exactly. That's what we need on t-shirts. Gorgeous.
Oh, that's a really good t-shirt idea.
Yes.
Copyright. You can't make
Copyright,
it now.
you can't do it. It's ours now. We tricked you. That's how the law works.
That is how law works. Thank you.
Amazing. Well, have you guys watched anything? I know it's been a snow day, so anything worth mentioning, I should say, that you watched.
Sure. I watched Green Room.
Okay. How was that?
Which was awesome. Another 2015 hit. This is I think it's an A24 movie, actually. Basically about this like punk band who plays at this like biker bar in Oregon, but it turns out that the owners are neo-Nazis, and they basically have to like escape from the green room that they're in. It's fucking great. And I've heard a lot about this movie through social media, through friends, that I'm going to love it. It's going to be great. People love this movie. And I was very cynical, it felt like it was going to be way overhyped. And it wasn't. It was a really good movie with some great performances, some awesome gore, really keeps the tension going. Patrick Stewart is in it. It's a really fucking good movie. It's on HBO and Netflix right now, I believe. So it's totally worth it. I would highly suggest it. And I always am very excited by a movie that lives up to the hype that I've been hearing about. And this is like a 4-star movie for me, 4 to 5. Like I really enjoyed it a lot.
Dang. High praise.
Yeah.
No.
High praise from producer Brian.
If I had seen it, to be totally honest, if I had seen it without any hype, I probably would have given like 3.5 stars. But because it really like the fact that like it broke through the hype in my brain, like absolutely deserved, because that just means that like it's good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
yes.
like yeah. So I think that was that. And then Jamie and I watched. I consider these horror movies. But Jamie and I watched the new Jurassic Park movie, Jurassic Park Rebirth.
Ah, okay.
Because they're broken down to their core, they are animal attack movies.
They are. Yes, I can agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it good within the whole chain, or
No.
Okay, great. Good to know.
I mean, the Jurassic Park chain is Jurassic Park and then everything else. Like some things are a little bit better than others, but the gap between the first one and everything else is so wide that like it's so crazy that these movies are so deeply mediocre except for the original one, and they keep getting made because of one, how good the first one is, and two, people fucking love dinosaurs, but they keep fucking these movies up. Yeah. Like just like it was a good background watch. There's some really awesome sequences. The CGI is really good and it's colorful. It's not this like fucking like saturated blue like bullshit. Like it actually has some color to it. The characters are fun even if the movie is a nothing sauce. That's what I thought. Sauce. It was a great background dinosaurs movie. You know what I mean?
I mean, I love dinosaurs, and I love.
So does Elliot.
Elliot does love dinosaurs. Next time you see him, ask him what do dinosaurs sound like. And boy, will he roar for you.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
he
keep that in my
does. He
mind.
loves roaring.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's a roaring 20s,
Wow.
roaring 18-month-olds.
Right. Right. Oh my gosh. I was gonna say roaring 2-year-olds, but he's not even 2 yet. Wow.
Yeah,
No.
don't rush time.
Right. My apologies. Well, speaking of bad CGI, I watched Silent Hill, the first one, for the first time.
Oh my god!
Wait,
we did too.
we did too.
Oh, I
Wait,
forgot
no,
about
you
that
forget?
one. I forgot. Did I put it on my letterbox?
That's so weird. Oh, that's so weird.
Oh, I
We're
did
in
put it on
sync.
my letterbox. I totally
Oh,
skipped
that's
over that.
so funny.
Yeah, we did too. We watched it too on Shudder.
Wait, I have seen it a
'Cause it's on
few
Shudder.
times, and
Okay.
it came up. It was like recommended after watching something, so I was like, "Oh, we
Yes.
should watch that." Because I thought you would watch it already, Brian. And you were like, "No," and I was like,
Yeah, I've never seen
"Let's
it.
put that
It
bad
was
boy
my first
on."
time seeing the original Silent Hill movie.
Oh my god! Wait,
Yeah,
what are your brief thoughts?
I mean, I've never played the video game.
Me neither.
So I have no connection with this at all. I
Yep.
feel like if I played the video game, I would appreciate it a little bit more. But I was just thinking to myself, this feels so all over the place, and the CGI is like the CGI felt like I was watching the video game in essence. And
Yes.
yeah, which I would say feels like fan servicing in a way, but it's also like we'll just play the game instead of watching this movie. And then I had to research like what happened in the other ones and what their Rotten Tomato scores were. And the first one was the best, quote unquote, of all of the other ones, because I think the one that recently came out already has a Rotten
I heard
Tomato
it
score,
bombed,
and it's the worst one. So yeah, it was same deal, Jamie. It was suggested, and I thought, oh, people have talked about this before, or I see people dressing up at like Comic Cons.
Oh yeah, we talked about that too, as the pyramid
yes,
boy.
as the pyramid. Yes. So I just thought,
What a hunk.
let me just watch, and it was not my favorite. No. Yeah.
Yes, Brian.
So Pyramid Guy is hunky. I get why people want to fuck him, but I also, the movie was weird, and I mean I say that from the perspective of like I totally agree with you, Nikisha, that like it. Part of me is like, good for you, like making a movie that feels like a video game. Like we had to watch her go through files. Like it felt like there was a lot of momentum slowed down a lot in the movie, because it felt like you were like sneaking around like in a video game, or you were going through files like in a video game. Right. And then every time it cut to black, it faded to black and faded back in. I was waiting for a commercial.
Me too.
I thought
why
it was
is it built like this?
Yeah,
Oh my
and I my assumption is that, or I guess Jamie explained it to me, was that those like fade to blacks and coming back is like going deeper into the Silent Hill, going deeper into hell, going deeper into the level, or whatever it is, maybe. But like, this movie was all about the wigs.
Yes.
All about the wigs. About the wigs.
Do you like to wear wigs? Yeah, I kind of appreciated it, but did not like it at the same time.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, that does.
I have no interest in watching the other two.
No, I pulled a Jamie and read the summary of the second one just to see if it was a direct sequel, which it is, and that's all I needed to do for that.
Yeah, like the whole movie, she's just running around screaming the little kid's name, and I'm just like, oh my god, do something else.
That's like kind of the game, is like,
okay,
but there's so like there's a lot of them, but like I think the OG ones, like this is the story. I will also say I've never played the Silent Hill game because I'm a weenie baby when it comes to playing scary games. This movie is not scary. There are parts that feel like a video game. They definitely pull imagery from the game and put it in the movie, but it doesn't even feel fan servicey. And the fans, as far as I know, also don't like this movie.
Got it.
Oh.
Yeah. This isn't like a movie where fans are like, oh my God, I love the Silent Hill movie. It's just because it's not good.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah. It was not my cup of tea. And
feel free to DM us if I'm wrong. Also don't, but I don't.
That's amazing.
If you're a diehard Silent Hill lover, let us know and let us know why.
Right. Yes. We just want to hear the perspective, because on the surface, yeah, not great. But I also watched House on Eden. Have y'all seen that?
No.
No.
It's a found footage. It was on Shudder, and
Yeah.
I think it came out
It came out
year.
last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
It did not get good reviews. What did you think?
I mean, it's just a fine movie to watch if you just want to throw it on and watch it. And it's short. It's a little over an hour. And it was fine. I didn't feel like, oh my God, this was the worst thing ever. But it was just something to watch. And it felt, when we talk about a lot what found footage means and someone had to find the footage and put it all together and do the things, I thought that it did a really good job in how it was presented as a found footage. Like it felt like, and I think that's the biggest takeaway. There were things that were kind of all over the place that felt realistic if you are going through something crazy and holding a camera. So it didn't take me out of it. But it's a short watch, and if you just want to watch a found footage movie and put it on, like Brian says, in the background, like I think it's worth putting it on the background.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Great. All right. Well, let's get into Bone Tomahawk, and we need a 2-minute plot summary from producer Brian. I know he's rearing and ready to go.
What's the plot?
Boom.
Yes.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Are you ready to get boned again?
Yeah, always.
All right. You have 2 minutes to tell us everything about Bone Tomahawk. Ready, steady, go.
Okay, in Bone Tomahawk, you have two kind of thieves, mercenaries, killers, who disturb a burial ground. Then one of them is killed. The other one goes back to town, kind of gets caught, is put in jail. And then the nurse who's helping him, as well as the deputy, sheriff's deputy, get taken by these troglodytes who live in the mountains. This is a Western, so this takes place in the 1890s. Kurt Russell is the sheriff. Kurt Russell rustles up a band of people to go and get them. This town is kind of empty because a lot of people are out doing jobs essentially, and one of the people who does a job is the husband of the woman who was taken, and his leg is broken because he fell off the roof before the movie started, and he's kind of housebound. So they all and the assistant deputy basically goes, Chicory, great name, and then kind of the sharpshooter playboy goes with them as well. So they all go to try and get them back. They have funny things happen, sad things happen. Anyway, Kurt Russell and the assistant deputy get captured by the troglodytes. They watch the troglodytes are inbred monster type humanoids who have whistles in their throat. They basically put whistles into their throat with bones. Anyway, they watch them bisect the deputy in half and eat him. Anyway, they end up drugging them with opium from the flask, and they end up killing Kurt Russell's character, but Arthur, the husband with the broken leg, ends up crawling and saving them all. And then the three that survive are the husband, the wife, and the old deputy. And then they're walking home, and they hear Kurt Russell kind of keep shooting people as he dies in the cave. The end.
And that's the plot.
Nice. Good stuff. Woo. Okay, let's start off with our first segment, Trick or a Treat, where we let you know right off the top, was this a trick? Did not like it, not our cup of tea. Or we're kind of neutral, don't know how we feel about it. And treat, we loved it.
Trick treat.
So Jamie, trick or a treat?
This was a treat for me.
Nice. This was leaning to treat for me. Brian?
Big time treat. I love this movie.
Nice. Okay. So let's talk about why I feel the way that we feel with likes and gripes.
And now our likes and gripes.
Let's go first.
Sure. So yeah, when this cast showed up, I was like flabbergasted. I was like, wow, there's just like so many people here that I know that are all really excellent. And they all just came together to make this little film. And I mean, they all play their roles like perfectly. Like it's really fascinating to see them all interacting with each other. And I feel like you're really, immediately set in the world, even as you're having those like, oh shit moments. Like I know that person, but even though we know them in other contexts, we're like, I was able to put all of that aside and be like, yep, these are like my Western friends, just living in the 1800s. But yeah, so like everybody I thought really, came with their like best performances. I'm trying to think of like who I really thought stood out. I loved Richard Jenkins in this. Chicory is obviously, yes, like he's most of the comic relief. It's also interesting, like, on the flip side, somebody like David Arquette, who like normally I would say would be like the funny comic relief, like bumbly guy.
Yes.
Like he's so much more like straight laced in this and like very serious and like a not great guy. So seeing him go like against type was really fun. Matthew Fox, I was like, oh, where you been? Like what'd you do after Lost? Or during, I don't remember when Lost ended, but yeah, I just was like, oh, I haven't thought about him in a while. And I think he did like a really good job at the like, I'm better than you because I'm smart and like I have, resources and like access to all these really nice things. But ultimately, like he's just, driven by revenge. And like that's why he's here. Man, Patrick Wilson is just so good at being charming.
Oh, he can do no wrong. It's nuts.
Maybe the exception is like Insidious, where he's like not a great dad.
Sure.
But like,
but he
everything
sings the
else
theme at the end.
That makes up for everything.
Yeah. Now that's like the ongoing like bit where it's like, oh man, like where's Patrick Wilson singing the end of the credits? Or like where's like the lead in this movie singing the credits at the end of the movie?
Exactly.
But yeah, we've already seen him kind of, be stubborn in the Conjuring movies. And like, this is just another like, stubborn guy who's like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
But also like, the love he has for his wife is driving him. And like those moments of like sweetness kind of creeping out despite his like, rough exterior. So yeah, I really, honestly, everybody else I felt like was, both surprising and like really excelled in their performance. Because Kurt Russell is on the poster and like I know that he's in the movie and like I more or less can like glean, his vibe in this time period and like whatever was about to happen. I didn't think his performance was bad, but it just was like it met my expectations exactly, whereas I feel like everyone else exceeded my expectations. So again, no one was bad. I just was like, oh yeah, like this is what you would get from a Kurt Russell performance set in this like time period. And he's like the sheriff. So yeah, but like yeah, top shout out to Chicory, who really just a charmer, just really funny, but always like brought it back to a point. I also loved how he was like like he never stopped talking, but I like the moments where he was like, you could see that he really wanted to say something and was like having this internal battle of like, do I say it or not, and then doing it anyway. I really liked that. So yeah, all of that was really enjoyable. I also like how, we get the opening that's like immediately to the action, right? It's David Arquette and Sid Haig, who Sid Haig is in House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects, and is like a, what's his face? Rob Zombie favorite. Yeah. Like them two in the beginning and then him getting shot. And then we just like move on from any of that for like a good chunk of the movie. Like I want to say like an hour at least. So I like how obviously I think it depends on like the context and how movies handle this, but I never found the movie to be slow. I found that they were very intentional about like building out these characters and having us invest in them in ways that like I did genuinely care about like all of them, and I didn't want anything bad to happen to them, and I knew obviously like this isn't going to be too great. But like I thought that they did a good job with pacing and like giving us time with the characters before they set off on this adventure of like, what the fuck are they about to encounter? Even like just the journey itself before they even get to the caves, it's like that's really some like bonding and getting a little bit more backstory and like a little bit more from them, and just like, you know, in moments of crisis, how they're responding versus like when everything is fine. So like all of that I really enjoyed, because it just made my investment in whatever was about to happen greater. And then so then we like, you know, they get to the caves and stuff, and then all of that stuff happens. And I had heard that this movie was like pretty gross. So like kind of going into it, I knew that like some pretty fucked up imagery, you know, we were about to get. I definitely wasn't expecting the bisection. That's pretty bad. Like, okay, I know we talk a lot about like gore and like certain things, and like, you know, we all have an affinity for different types, different degrees of gore and like slashings and other things. I'm not into bisections. That's not
fair.
That's not for me. And the way that they did it, really not for me. That is an image that I hope will be like unburned from my retinas soon, but it was pretty gruesome and terrible to watch. More so than the eating him. Like it was really that like fully grossed me out like deep within my soul. Probably why I have no interest in the Terrifier movies, because
I was gonna say, you know, like that's the second bisectioning, I guess, that I've seen on screen. Because the Terrifier one was female. That was just as intense and gross. So maybe I was a little bit desensitized at it. I thought it was cool because I love gore, and that's what I'm, you know, there for when I watch horror movies. But it was still disturbing. But it felt, I guess, it didn't feel overwhelmingly like it wasn't too much, which is really kind of a little sad to say.
Well, when the fact that you said maybe I'm desensitized to this, I was going to say that's not good.
Exactly.
That's probably not good.
I was like, oh yeah, this is what I came here for. Like,
totally.
Right,
at least this time it's dick and balls and not vagina.
Exactly.
True.
Yes.
I think this movie does a great job of balancing visual gore with the auditory gore. You know, I think it does a good job without going overboard. Like, yes, we're talking about a bisection, but it never, there's no close-ups.
You think
like,
overgored?
Right.
Overgored.
Yes.
It never goes overgored. You know, like, because it, and when you overgored, I'm still laughing. When you straddle that line appropriately, it doesn't feel like gore for gore's sake. Like,
I also hate that you said straddle, because it's a bisection.
Oh wow!
Sorry, I'm gonna turn my brain
it in
off
there.
now.
I love it.
But yeah, I just think overall it does a good job between the flask in his abdomen,
Right.
when they skin, when they scalp the other guy, before the bisection. Like, yes, it's gross. There's a lot of neck cutting and stuff like that, but it doesn't feel like gore for gore's sake. Maybe because like the blood is not like squirting everywhere, like in a you know, a campy way or anything like that.
And there wasn't a lot happening. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, just to piggyback off of that real quick, there wasn't a lot happening before either. That so it makes it seem intentional that they place these gory things in specific spots within this 2-hour-long movie, as opposed to just like every 5 seconds there's insides on the outside.
Yeah, totally.
I was going to say the same thing where it's like the truly gruesome, the most gruesome parts of this movie are like truncated to this specific moment of the movie. And so it's not like we're not sitting in it for too long. I think there's a lot of like, you know, anticipation to it of like, what are they going to encounter, which I think definitely heightens that like stress and anxiety because we know that something terrible is in there. We just like haven't gotten there yet. And then it happens and then it's over. But I think that for me, I felt like it had this lasting impact of sitting with me well beyond just like the end of those scenes, the end of the movie, because like it was heightened, but it was short and it's not even giving you enough time to like process it. So I'm like, oh, I'm still thinking about it. Oh, so, yeah, I think that's most of what I liked. Also, like, you know, you can hate on me, but I love a happy ending. So I'm really happy that Arthur survives and like reunites with his wife and, you know, all is well despite all the terrible things.
It's fine to want a happy ending in a horror movie.
Yeah. I just, you know, I just want everything to turn out okay in the end because in reality, everything is terrible.
Exactly.
So I need like something to be okay.
Yes.
You know?
Someone to be okay. Someone to be saved.
I don't know who they are in here, but in there, great.
It's like good stuff.
I'm trying to think, like the things that I didn't like are obviously just like the things of the times, quote unquote, like racism and sexism and, you know, those things. I'm trying to think if there's anything like specific to the movie that I didn't really like. I can't think of anything right now, but if either of you say something that inspires me, I'll be like, yeah.
Do you, with movies like this, because you bringing up the racism and the sexism, of course it's a representation of the time. Do you feel like even though it is representing something that is factually a thing, that still kind of deters you from the movie? Or is it more so when there's a movie that obviously like there are racist, misogynistic elements that were woven in that like writers didn't think, but it's because of their outlook that it's presented that way, and that's what kind of deters you, I guess, if that makes sense, like from movies that have those things in them.
I think that this movie is self-aware enough where when characters are saying racist things that other characters are calling them out on it and challenging it. Okay. And then same with like the misogyny, because like what's her face, Mrs. O'Dwyer, Samantha, she's like the medical attending like person in this town. Like she's obviously very smart and skilled, and like they're relying on her, even if there are like, you know, things being said about homemakers and whatever. Like I think that there are things that they do within the context of the movie to challenge those stereotypes that other people are bringing up. I think I think that in other movies and TV shows, like I think context, again, I should get that on a t-shirt, but like I think context is important because like I think, you know, we talked about movies featuring like Black and people of color casts that like either handle racism well or don't. And it's like, what is your intention behind like, you know, showing violence against Black bodies? Like, what are you trying to accomplish or what are you trying to say? Or even just like how these characters are being presented within films and media and things like that. Like, I think that, you know, challenging those stereotypes within the context of the time frame is like a cheeky way to be like, yes, obviously there was like loads of racism during this time and there continues to be, but we still don't want it to just be like, you know, no acknowledgement that like this is fucked up. And so I think that they like, there's those lines in the middle when they like bring in the professor and he's like, these are like, I don't associate myself with these people. Like, these are their own like separate entities of like horrible people. And like, even that, I felt like the fact that he's like the professor, he's like clearly very educated, and a lot of them aren't. And like being able to express this distinction between himself and like others. So like, I think that those are little things where it's like, we understand this within the context of this time period, but also like, we're not just going to let it slide that people are saying racist things and we're letting them get away with it.
Yeah. And I love how I wrote in my notes too that I loved that the professor was someone of color and specifically of Indian descent. And that I love that he called out like, y'all will think that they just look just like me because of your point of view. But they're, like you said, I don't associate with them. They are not part of my culture or race or, you know, anything. And so there is those things of being, like you said, self-aware. In these movies.
And some of them don't want to address those things. And like, they just don't care because I don't know why people don't care, right? I can speculate, but like, I don't actually know. I don't know if it's because like, I can't figure it out. But I think that when you do get people who care and that treat it with that care, you just get better movies.
Hands down. Absolutely. Because it's also like, you don't treat the audience like we're idiots. We're going to pick up on the fact that they're self-aware.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And like, don't be lazy. Like, that's really what it feels like. It feels lazy. Because it's like you're choosing, like you're choosing a particular story to tell, but like, why do you feel the need to tell it in that particular way? There's definitely some directors that are coming up in my head. Even ones where there's like movies that they've made that I like enjoy, but also there's the part of me that's like, did you need to say that or behave that way or do that thing? Was that necessary? What's up with that?
Exactly. What's up with that?
So,
yes. Love it.
Isn't that an SNL song, Brian? Don't you sing that a lot?
Ooh wee. What's up with that? What's up with that? It's the Keenan talk show song.
Got it. Okay. I'm like, nope, don't remember it. Great. Jamie, do you have any other likes and gripes?
Nah, my brain's empty now.
Okay, great. I'll just pick up because I don't have much more to add. My comes from the fact that I am not a Western girl. So Western movies feel boring to me. Though I will say the ASMR of horses galloping was so relaxing. I know.
It's truly not what I thought you were going to say in that moment. And that's so funny.
Well, I only say it because it stuck out to me in the middle of them in their journey in the movie. And I'm thinking to myself, I just want them to get there because I want more gore, more, if you will. But then the sound of just horses galloping just kind of clocked in my brain, and I was like, "Oh, this is nice." But I thought that it came off strong. Jamie mentioned the opening, and I think my expectation was for it to continue on in that momentum. Of course, you do need to have moments of character development, and I think that with all of the characters, because this feels very much like an ensemble cast and not just solely focused on one, that you do have to kind of take the time to go through each of these characters. And I understand, get it. It's just in some moments slow for me, especially coming off of the high of the opening scene.
Sure.
There was quotes that I just put in here, and I don't know why, but I just thought they were funny. It's not the time for womanly imaginings. I forgot who said it, but it was just funny to me.
Of course.
Smart men don't get married. That what's his name, Matthew Fox, and that whole thing, which I thought, even though it took a while, Jamie mentioned them going on their journey, which allowed for more information to be given about them. I thought that they did give out information very well so that you can kind of attach yourself to why people are acting the way that they are acting. And the whistle in the throats was gnarly, and so when Patrick Wilson was digging out and he was saying, "Oh, is this jewelry or something?" I was also thinking, "What is going on right now?" And then the fact that he actually had to use it, can't. That was disgusting in the best possible way, and that's what I want out of this.
Give me that.
Give me that. All of the things. Oh, Brian briefly mentioned this, but the sound design I really enjoyed. Even with all
horse
the horse
ASMR,
stuff. The horse, that's top. That's number one. And then like the Foley effects for all of the gore that was happening was very well done. And I also agree they didn't need to give more in the scene within the scenes that were given. I thought those were just enough. But you know. We're on a Western adventure. Let's shoot up some more things, you know, guns.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Yes. Yeah. And then my last quote that I really liked: "Frontier life is hard because of idiots." And that's what,
that's the best. What she said? She's like, "It's not the Indians, it's not the this, it's the idiots.
It's the
and
idiots.
y'all are idiots." Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and then the last thing, and this, it's absolutely a me thing, but I was just bothered because I felt like Patrick Wilson was using those crutches wrong the entire time. I was like, I don't think how you're using that is helping you at all, and it's making you struggle even more.
I've never broken a bone, certainly not any lower extremity. So I was like, that looks like it sucks, but like I would have no idea whether or not there's like a better way to do this.
Yeah, no, it's just, well, I'm not going to go into details of it. But
you're like, okay, so here's how he should have done it.
Here's how he should have, because of how we walk and where you need to put the crutch the opposite side because you walk opposite leg, opposite arm. It's a whole thing. So when you're doing,
we should get a master class on.
I didn't know I was doing a
acting
crutch
with a crutch
tutorial today.
Right. But it's on the same side, so it's essentially like if you were walking same hand, same leg. You know what I mean? And that's not the vibe. But anyway, other than that, the acting was fantastic, phenomenal. I believed everyone in this movie. I believed all of their relationships in this movie. But you know, just Westerns aren't my vibe. Though it did make me think of my dad, and that made me happy because he loves a Western. I'm like, oh, he really enjoyed this movie. But other than that, that's all I got for that. Brian?
Yeah, I love this movie. This is my third time watching it, and I had a very different experience watching it this time. Because I remembered this movie being a lot faster paced. I didn't remember the actual pacing of this movie. And I'm yawning. I'm boring myself. The pacing stood out to me because of how intentional it is. Like, this movie takes this time for the little details, and I think that adds to the fabric of the movie. For instance, Patrick Wilson falling asleep on his crutch, you know, like the little things like that. Or Patrick Wilson, he cuts that out of the throat for a long time. Like that's an extended sequence, and like in other movies he just sort of like chopped it out and whatnot. Like, yes, it's for the gore and stuff, but like their life is so tedious out in the West. Like everything takes a long time, and they have their own amount of time. Like so I think all of that, even the extended bar sequence where there's that whole back and forth with the piano player, like they're really creating the fabric of what this town is like, what the outskirts of this town is like, what the dynamic between everyone is. Like the mayor is only in it for like 1 second, and his wife is like the Lady Macbeth. And like that's a whole nother thing we could have explored, but we don't. We get all these little pieces, and then we're out them hunting, you know, going for it. And the conversations they have, like Nikisha said, the exposition is so natural in this movie. And the whole scene with Chicory, and like that tea smells weird. Oh, it's soup. Like that, like
it was like
what a
like
weird
corn.
Yeah, like we just spent 10 minutes talking about like hot soup and corn, and Chicory can't remember why he got there, and he's like, "Oh right, thanks for reminding me." Like that scene, like was like so weird, but it's intentional. It's the pacing, It's the characters, it's how they react to each other, you know, and it's us being charmed by them. So that at the end, the best line in this movie when Kurt Russell says, "Say goodbye to my wife, I'll say hello to yours,"
Yes.
means something. Like that was like it really means something. And the gore that happens to these people is more devastating that way. Like Matthew Fox is this like sharpshooting playboy, but he has honor and he has dignity, and he's like, hey, give me a gun, I'm gonna give me the explosive or whatever, like I'm gonna take people out to help you. I also love that they're counting. They're like, okay, there are like 12ish. Okay, cool. Now we've got like 7 left. And so those 3 shots at the end of the movie to like mean something, and they feel like a win. Like all the details that this movie does is really impressive, and the performances are great to support all of that. Which brings me to my next point, is something I realized this time is, fuck, there's like no score in this movie. Like it's silent during the scenes, and then the music only comes in when they're like traveling, really. Like so much of this movie is just like silence and them out in the wilderness. And like I think that adds a very specific vibe to this in the best way possible. So that was super cool and very eerie, but that also allowed you to, as an audience member, interact with the characters in your own time, in your own way, because there's no music influencing how you feel about Chicory or how you feel about the sheriff or how you feel about Michael Fox. Like it's all acting and the shot composition that makes you experience them. You're not like, the music's not like playing like lovely music when like the like when Chicory walks in, you know what I mean? Like there's none of that.
Yes.
And
also,
however,
sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it.
Oh, I was just gonna say, in another movie, like Chicory wouldn't even have survived, and I appreciate the fact that he did in this, and Kurt Russell was the one who like sacrificed himself.
Yeah,
like,
but also in but in another movie, Chicory would have been like a Screech or Jar Jar Binks, where like he's like, like, oh no, I lost all the bullets, and like that kind of a thing. Whereas in this one, like he's an asset, he's a very clear asset. So I appreciated that. Also, juxtaposed to all the slow pacing, the action was quick, like, and the gunshots felt real. Like when Patrick Wilson is shooting at the troglodytes when he's like fake napping or whatever it is, and then like he gets the first one, and the second one he misses a little bit, then he gets them, but they get back up, then he shoots them, and it breaks the bow and arrow, and then he finally gets it. Like those felt like the gun work in this movie felt like each character. You could see the difference between a sharpshooter and Matthew Fox versus everybody else, and I really appreciated that. I also, we kind of talked about this in different ways. I really like that religion wasn't the theme of this movie. However, it was just a fact for these people, like especially oh my god, the Patrick Wilson character, Arthur. And I appreciated that. There's a little bit of even though they're troglodytes and they're not like Native Americans, like there is a lot of like manifest destiny bullshit in this. Like this is our land, get off of it. Like there is a lot of like a white savior like to it as well. But I think that that's not what the movie is necessarily about. So it's just so it was reflective of like how their mindset would be at the time, like, so, and I took that for what it was. Because the movie's not trying to say like, we're all good people here. You know what I mean? Like, so there's a little bit of that like, I don't like watching that, but like, that's just the way it is, especially in a period piece like this. The troglodyte designs are great. It's not too much, meaning like it wasn't like this like they're not these like weird like reptilian creatures, but also they don't look like Native Americans. They don't look, they don't look like just people who put on masks. Like I thought it was really, really good. And then my major gripe of this movie by far is when they are escaping at the end, why would you walk through the burial ground? You know they told you that was the first thing. I know they're mostly dead and whatnot, but like, wouldn't you just fucking walk around it if you know that's what started this thing?
Exactly.
That's actually the thing that made me angry, because that's what brought up that like ego, that manifest destiny ego. Like, you know, like you escape this and now you're just gonna walk through their burial ground. Like, I'm not saying they're troglodytes. They fucking eat people and they fuck each other and they bisected a man. But like, show some respect so they don't come after you again if there was one or two stragglers that you didn't count. Like, what are we doing here, people? That bothered me so much. I mean, maybe that, and whatever the intention behind that was to like say about these people or this time, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I really like this movie a lot. We need more horror westerns, because like there are no cell phones, the light, it's so dark. You know, like you can easily do and you can do a zombie movie, like you can do like a werewolf. I mean, I would argue that that Sinners is like basically a western, like
yes,
a western vampire movie, but like there's so much we can do with this setting because of the context of where they are, what's happening, and I want that. I want more of things like this. Like, isn't it so much scarier? Like, what if there was a home invasion movie in the Wild West with like some like monsters or something like that, without being like silly monsters? Like, that's awesome, because like it gets really fucking dark, you know, like, and you know, like if you live on the outskirts of town, people, whatever that is, like, I also think, you know what else has western vibes to it? The Dark and the Wicked has western vibes to it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I really like this movie a lot. This is always like a suggestion for people from me, because I think this is a great watch. I think it's a lot of fun, and very memorable. If you like it or not, it's a very memorable movie.
For sure. And that also made me think, because you were talking about horror westerns, that was my first thought. Are there any zombie horror western movies out there? Because I think that would be a fun watch.
Yeah. Some other there's The Pale Door, which is witches. That's fine.
Okay.
There's another one on Shudder called The Wind that I've never actually seen. There's Oregon Trail.
The wind.
Oregon Trail, but that's not really. I would say that's more of like a. It's gruesome, but it's more of like a human suspense drama thriller as opposed to like pure horror.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are other ones, but those are the ones that come to my head. Those come to mind first. And spoiler alert, those are some of my suggestions for later.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. All right. Any lasting thoughts before we move on?
I don't think so.
Nothing I can think of.
Well, let's get. Oh, I do want to say something as I'm moving on, because I kind of kept forgetting that they were cannibals, but I appreciated that because I didn't need to see a lot of them.
Yeah.
In the act, and I just wanted to point that was something that I did like, that I didn't need to see all of that. Yeah. Great. Let's move on to our next segment. Brains.
Yum. They ate a lot of brains.
Ooh, yeah, that's
them brains.
Ooh, can't. Okay, my first question is, when we're in high stress situations that we can't control, how can we regulate our emotions so that we are able to not act out of impulse that could create, bad decision making? And I'm just thinking of Patrick Wilson in the situation and him deciding that he wanted to go after his wife, even though he is very much injured and, it would be a hard time for him. So yeah, I just wanted to know, like, in high stress situations, how can we kind of regulate our emotions?
We can't. LOL.
Love it. The best answer.
I mean, I think that, like, there's the like the crisis situation where it's like the fight or flight, so we don't necessarily have like total control over how we're responding. And then I think that, like, you know, depends on, like it depends on, I think, what immediate danger there is to you versus like others. I think ultimately, like, you know, in dealing with challenging situations that come up unexpectedly, that we have to like make hard decisions, practicing like stress management skills and coping skills in moments that aren't overwhelming and stressful, so that in those moments that are, you're able to like tap into that, so you're not feeling like you know, all of those things are making it even more difficult or like unnecessarily difficult. Because I think the bottom line is like, it's still going to be harder to make a decision in something incredibly stressful and overwhelming. But yeah, I think like the more that we like practice, you know, checking in with ourselves and our emotions on a regular basis, like having that self-awareness when we're not triggered, I feel like can help us manage stressors that come up when we potentially are.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because like you said, if we don't know, like, in the situation what our fight or flight necessarily, like where we're going to go. But
yeah, and it might take us some time to like process what's happening to make a decision. Like not everybody can be like, bam, do this. Like I know I need time to like sit with my thoughts before acting on them. So I think like being mindful that like everybody has a different way of processing information and like needs time. So not everyone is going to be able to just like immediately go and make the best choice ever.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same way as far as not being able to make a decision right away. And you know what? I sometimes feel bad that I'm not that way, and I blame TV shows like The Walking Dead or whatever. That's like something happens and we're going to immediately like do something. And it's like, oh, that's how people's brains work. Mine doesn't work that way.
Yeah, but those people only have an hour to make a decision.
You're right.
True.
Very, very true. Okay, great. My last question is, how can we not place blame, hate, you know, on entire like cultures or races of people when we've been wronged by one person? And I'm speaking specifically for when what's his name, Matthew Fox. Is kind of blaming the entirety of Native Americans for his family being murdered, and him having kind of a vendetta, vengeance for that. And so I just want to talk about like, how can we separate so that we're not placing all of our attention and blame on on specific, you know, culture or race.
Yeah. I mean, I think that comes from like self-awareness and a willingness to, I think we talked about this recently, but I can't remember what the movie was, but like a willingness to look inward and explore our biases and like our like the ways in which like we hold power and like privilege, and how that allows us to like other groups, other identities. And then in the event, like, you know, in his case where he experienced this like awful tragedy, obviously that's a different time period, and I'm not putting that to now, but I think in general, like, you know, when anything bad happens, like we see it in the media all the time, right? There's plenty of bad shit happening right now that I don't really want to think about, but the difference in like how the media portrays different populations that are like being harmed, being killed, whatever, like it's trauma across the board, but I think like it's on us as in, I mean, preferably the news, but like we have to be willing to like look inward and challenge where some of these ideas about like different identities come from, and how we might benefit from like further marginalizing other groups. It's like, it's easy to just be like, yeah, that group of people, but it's like, is that group of people already in like a minority? And like, are we just assuming that we're better than them because why? And so that being said, I also imagine that like, who's actually doing that work? I don't know.
That's the real question. Who's doing the work?
Fair.
Yeah, because like Matthew Fox's character, not gonna do that work.
No.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, like if you are a person listening to this podcast and you feel like you're particularly insightful, I encourage you to like take a moment and reflect and explore how might some biases that you didn't even realize you had, or like how might some certain privileges that like you don't always think about because you benefit from them, like what does that mean about you that you might be carrying this, and like are there things that you can unlearn? And the reason why people don't want to do this is nobody wants to be like, well, I'm a bad person because I'm a racist. Like nobody wants to be called the racist. Nobody wants to be called the sexist. Like, nobody wants to acknowledge these things because they then have to question their character and their identity. And I think a lot of people are deeply uncomfortable with that. Sure. But that's also how we can like, be better exactly. as a society and like stop marginalizing, other populations that don't carry the same privileges that, those in power do. So, and this is like ongoing work. This isn't like a one and done. This is like a forever thing, which again, I think that's not like, exciting to people, right, appetizing. Right. So, but it's like, okay, like it might make you uncomfortable, which again, people don't want to feel, but it's important in order to like no longer allow these unconscious things to be like fueling your behaviors in a way that are again further marginalizing those with less power.
Exactly. You're getting to the root of the issue. Yeah.
Just stop being racist.
That I wish people could just flip a switch and be like, all right,
and yeah,
not racist
problem
anymore.
solved
For the people. God. Amazing. That's all that I have. I know, the world. That's all that I have for that. Should be rotten tomatoes.
It's like we got really close to talking about life, and then
but we backed off because now we got to do Rotten Tomatoes.
It's the Rotten Tomatoes game.
What do you think this has on Rotten Tomatoes?
A reality 0%.
Screaming. I would say 89.
Jamie?
Yeah, I was gonna say like 80. I gotta go higher. 80. 86.
A 91.
Dang.
Yeah. Okay.
But the watchers, the popcorn meter is 74%. Still fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh.
All right.
The critics consensus is Bone Tomahawk's peculiar genre blend won't be for everyone, but its gripping performances and a slow-burning story should satisfy those in search of something different.
I'll take that.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you think this has on Letterboxd? Again, that's 0 to 5 with decimal points. Jamie, you go first.
A 3.6.
I'm gonna say 3.7.
3.6.
Nice.
Whoa.
And the top 3 reviews. I'm not reading the number 1 review. It's literally a full dissertation on this.
Oh God.
So we're not going to do that. But at number 3, this review may contain spoilers, but it's "Say goodbye to my wife, I'll say hello to yours." They just put that quote.
Yeah, it's cute.
The second one is 89 out of 100. Showing this amazing film to people and eagerly awaiting and soaking up their reaction to that scene might be my current favorite pastime.
Yeah. You're definitely like sitting there watching someone watch it for that moment, for sure.
And here's just a funny recent one. I'm adding Bone Graveyard to my list of possible first date spots.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Should we do the 4 S's?
Yes.
Skull, scare, shakes, and suggestions. The Talking Horrors 4 S's.
The 4 S's are skulls, scares, shakes, and suggestions. Skulls is how well this handles mental health and human behavior. Scares is how scary was it. Shakes is this a one and done? Will you remember this one? Will you watch it again? And then suggestions, we'll go through our suggestions. But Jamie, why don't you start us off with your 4 S or 3 of the 4 S's?
Sure. For skulls, like a 7.5. I thought that, like, you know, again, maybe this is me being like overly scrutinizing of the time period, or I don't know, but like I thought that people seem to be peopling. Like, again, I don't know too much about Westerns. I don't know why I did that, but anyway, that's
I'm screaming. But
that's
we get the
that.
reference. We get the reference.
Yeehaw. For scares, I'm giving it a 4 because I didn't think the movie was scary, but I sure don't like no bisections. Yes, sirree. I don't know why I can't get rid of this like weird cowboy character.
No, keep going.
For shakes, I gave it a rootin' tootin' 7.5.
Love it.
Nikisha.
Yeah, I gave it 8 for skulls. I felt the people were peopling. And the conversations were very believable, like Brian had mentioned. Scares, I'll give it a 3 because of the gore, but I wasn't necessarily scared of the movie. And I'm just gonna give this a flat. I'm gonna give it a 5.5. Just because, you know, this is a really good movie, but it's not my cup of tea.
Sure. I'm gonna give it an 8 for skulls, a 3 for scares, and this gets a 9 for shakes from me. And I already said my suggestion, which I'll go with The Pale Door, which is another horror Western movie. I think it is streaming on Shudder, and I still need to watch The Wind, which is on Shudder as well.
Great.
Woo.
Nikisha, do you want to give your suggestion?
Yeah, this is not a horror movie, but I couldn't stop thinking about this movie. I was watching this, maybe just because I don't watch Westerns. It's the only one that I know, but Django. That's what I can think of.
Oh, yeah.
And Jamie?
Just based on vibes, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think just like the setting.
Yeah.
And then based on cave vibes, The Descent.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Cool.
I love that.
We did it.
Great. Well, that
We
wraps
got
up.
boned.
We did, yes. That
Again.
And just the skull memorials in both, you know. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
That wraps up our episode of Bone Tomahawk. You can follow us on the socials, Instagram, TikTok at Talk Horror Pod. And producer Brian, where can they listen to us?
You can listen to us wherever you get podcasts. So that is on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. That is Spotify. And that is Apple Podcasts. Rate and review us there. 5 stars, please.
And thank you.
And next week we'll be doing The Bone Collector. And we will not be doing The Bone Collector. Next week is Sam Raimi's Get Help. Send Help. We might send help.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
Same.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know anything else to say, but them bones.
Them bones.
bones.
Yeehaw, partner.
And yeehaw. We'll see you next time, partner. Goodbye.
Bye.
Adios.
Bye, y'all.
This ain't Texas.
Oh my God. Cut it now.
Cut it now.